What's going on, everyone? Bry2J back with an all-new Yay Toys Plus, and today's review is going to be on the Michael Myers from Halloween. He's the latest and greatest from Mezco Toyz 112 Collective. I have been waiting for this figure for quite a while. I think I saw him at Toy Fair 2017, or it could have been the Comic-Con 2 years ago. But we finally have the shape. I am a huge fan of John Carpenter's Halloween. I love the first two because they are kind of the same movie. For those of you that don't know the Halloween movies, Halloween 2 takes place on the very same night of Halloween 1. It's like one long film, just done a few years later. And then the sequel coming out, which is actually a reboot, which kind of eliminates Halloween 2 onward. So that's interesting, and we'll get more into that when the movie time happens, huh? So, with that being said, let's get talking about Michael Myers. Mezco actually knocked this one out of the park. I am a big fan of Halloween. It is on my list of top movies of all time. Halloween is one of my all-time favorite horror films, and I can watch the franchise, but Halloween 1 is the movie, you know? I'm not big on the rest. But the character of Michael Myers, I mean, there's so much history. The mask is that of a repainted William Shatner face, if you guys didn't already know. And now you're going to be staring at your Mezco and be like, I kind of see it. Well, no, you see Michael Myers. It's how good John Carpenter was, you know, for 1978 stuff. Anyway, so let's talk more about the figure, huh? I'm a big fan of Mezco. I have quite a lot. I've been buying Mezco for the last 2 Octobers, with my first one being Shadowland back in October, Comic-Con 2 years ago, which I cannot believe in a couple of days I will be there again for, God, it's like my 7th, I think. So yeah, Michael Myers, Mezco put this figure out, I forget if it was Toy Fair or New York Comic-Con as their prototype, and I was like, I need this. You know, like, not being a fan of horror, like, horror figure collecting, I just had to get this one. I had the Michael Myers from Todd McFarlane Movie Monster series, like, way back, and that was great for the day, you know, that time frame. But the fact that we have a Mezco version of it, I'm so stoked. And, yeah, let's check this figure out, huh? So, this is Michael. This is that the serial killer maniac, also known as The Shape. If you watch the credits of Halloween, he's not known as Michael Myers. He's known as The Shape. And that's why, if you guys seen the posters for the reboot, which eliminates Halloween 2 onward, it's a direct sequel to the first movie. The poster says The Shape returns, and I think that's great. So yeah, they really did a great job sculpt-wise. This captures that deadpan serial killer stare of Michael. It's just so great. I got this figure Tuesday. I bought him at Near Guard. My boy Noel hooked me up. And I've been bringing them to work every day since. I've been posing them around in the store. My boss laughs because, you know, we're big Halloween people in my store. So yeah. This is great. I really love it. Like, again, look at that stare. Like, I mean, you see eyes in there, and it looks like a man wearing a mask. I think that's really, really great. And I don't know if you noticed, but I keep his butcher knife, or his kitchen knife, in his pocket. So, there's that. He comes with 2 of these, and I'll get that, I'll get more into that with accessories. So, forgive me with, like, the shakiness a little bit. I switched my setup a little, and I'm trying something new. So I'm leaning on a table at the moment rather than my living room floor. And I'm still using a makeshift tripod. I haven't had time to go get a new one. So let me talk about this figure. There's really not a lot going on, but yet there's a lot going on, if that makes sense. Because we're so used to, like, Doctor Strange and his bright and colorful outfit, and we're used to, like, Spider-Man and Superman and Batman and, you know, all the other Mezcos that are out there. This figure, he's just wearing a faded blue mechanic outfit. And if you look carefully, it's grungy. And, like, it's kind of faded and old in certain spots. Because Michael Myers didn't just, you know, go out and buy a jumpsuit to go kill people. He stole this from a garage. You know, so, like, it makes sense that it's dirty and old. Sometimes I like to pop the collar up. Sometimes I keep it down. It's depending on, like, what version of Michael from which movie. Because he wore it both ways. It really doesn't make a difference. The sculpt on the hair. The sculpt on the hair is really, really good. Like, they even nailed that. All right, let me try to... Here you go. The sculpt on the boots. So, I'm not going to raise the pants all the way up, but the boots go up to probably about just... Yeah, actually I got it. So you can see it goes right about there. So they're combat boots, basically. And you can kind of see that, like, you know, the green in the boot. I don't know if that... I forget if that's actually accurate or that's Mezco's take on it. Because, you know, they do like to have their own little spin. Which, either way, I don't care. I got a really badass Michael. They even captured in the fingernails all the grime. And that's on every hand. On every finger. They did not miss. You know, it's... Michael Myers escaped a mental facility after killing his sister. And, you know, he didn't exactly have time to shower, you know. So, I like that they captured the grime on that, too. Now for his articulation, and I'll talk about his accessories after. So for the articulation, his head and neck are connected like Joker. But they did design it where it looks like a man wearing a mask. So you can see the neck and the mask, you know, the difference in sculpt right there. So you can get him to, like, kind of tilt and do those, like, creepy Michael Myers head nods that he does. And I think that's pretty awesome. There's a shirt underneath, like a basic black shirt. None of the top pockets open. It's just sewn, same with the back pockets. But as you saw earlier, the knife was inside his pants pocket. I put it in there because, like, a lot of the times he kept it here, but he also kept it kind of in here. So you just, like, pull it out from his chest area. Since that's not open, you make do, and it still works, you know? Yeah, everything about this figure is great. But yeah, back into the accessory, his articulation. His arms can go out about that much. You can get it up only about that far, because you don't want to risk ripping the fabric. Right? Back maybe about that far, same reason. He doesn't have a bicep swivel, but the top of the elbow does rotate. It's a single hinge, because this is what they call their human body, not their superhero body. I'm cool with that. I know a lot of people are kind of like, oh, why isn't it, you know, double jointed? And it's like, well, you know, it could have been, but I don't mind. So, as for that, he has a really decent ab crunch, which is great because, like, if you've seen the movie, or if you've seen, like, later movies, when he gets knocked down, he gets up and does that, like, creepy head stare. And I think that's great. He has a semi-decent back crunch too, so that's cool. He does have diaphragm swivel and waist articulation, so you do get a lot of posability in his upper body, which makes for those really creepy Michael, stare downs when he's walking and chasing after you. Michael doesn't run; he walks semi-fast, and he finds you, and I think that's really great that they capture that in the articulation. His legs, he can kick out about that far, back about that far. He does have an upper thigh swivel, double jointed knees, top of the boot rotates, hinged ankles, and they're pretty decent on the ankle pivot. So Mezco is getting better with their version of ankle pivot. So yeah, that's all of his articulation. And I'm going to leave Creepy Michael here while I go get his accessories. So hang tight. So while I keep Creepy Michael hanging out in the back, let me show you the accessories that he comes with. First, we'll start with the Mezco basics, huh? The Ziploc. The display base, and I do like that they use the logo from the first movie. I think that's great. And of course, the claw stand. I kind of understand why they gave this, but at the same point, Michael doesn't jump, so I don't think I'm going to use this. I'll just keep it in the box. But typical Mezco, take the base, you poke that out, plug that in, and it's done. But yeah, let me get this to focus a little bit better. Claw here. Right, so articulated claw. Mine is very tight. Right there. Phillips head, Phillips head, Phillips head, Phillips head. Bend it there, bend it there, bend it there, swivel that. So, and then of course at the bottom. So that's your articulated claw, your usual Mezco. Alright, so those are the basic Mezco accessories. Now let's get into Michael's personal accessories. Where to begin? Because as much as there's not, there's a lot. We'll start with hands. You get a pair of open hands. They're kind of like choking hands, which he does a lot of. Just watch the movie and you'll see that. He gets naturally default fists. He has relaxed hands, which you've seen on the figure already. And then he has a pair of the butcher knife holding hands. So those are the hands. And every single hand has that little bit of grime, as I stated before. So I think that's really great. Kitchen knife number 1. Basic kitchen knife. Clean. Not used. Painted to look like wood with the little metal rivets. Looks sharpened, which is great. Yeah, I like this. Butcher knife number 2. Used and dirty, and he kind of killed some people, and it looks really great. The cream of the crop. The headstone for his sister. It was this, I think, that made me want the figure more, is when I saw this behind Michael in the display case. As you see, it says, our beloved daughter, Judith Myers, born November 10th, 1947, died October 31st, 1963. He killed his 16-year-old sister because she wanted to get some. Pretty much. I mean, that was the whole, reason behind his psychopathicness, I think. Anyway, so yeah. This is made out of what they call polystone, and I want to say, and I think Unparalleled Universe's review said this too, is that, so shout out to him, go subscribe, he's great channel. So, this is kind of the same material that they're going to make Darkseid with, when that comes out. I do like that it's like scuffed and chipped, and it looks like a headstone that's been beaten up and ripped out of the dirt. So that looks really good. And then, personally, one of the most interesting accessories, which I feel like they kind of could have executed this a little bit better, but at the same point, it looks good. So, this guy here, in Halloween, toward the end of the film, he kills a guy. These are the guy's glasses, and they're kind of sculpted and painted just like that guy's glasses, which I think is pretty cool. He killed the guy, and then took his glasses and took a bed sheet and went into the guy's girlfriend's room and, you know, wore this, and she was like, ooh, I want to say the guy's name was Bill. I don't remember. It's been a little bit. But she basically thought it was Bill, and we'll go with Bill. And this is how he killed her. He choked her to death wearing this. And then he lied her in bed with this on the bed. And that was pretty friggin' scary for, you know, that time frame. You know, no real special effects, all practical effect. And I thought that was great. So, yeah. So, yeah. My only issue, just like everybody else's, is the fraying. And this is why I say it could have been executed a little bit better. And Unparalleled's right about, like, this thing here, this little piece of plastic. It would have been nicer if it was, like, you know, just a head. But I'll show you guys how to put this thing on in just a sec. So once again, here's Creepy Michael in the background. Alright, so you want to have Michael dress up as Bill. Basically, pull the whole head off, revealing that ball peg. Neat little trick I saw at a Mezco forum. You could actually take your Joker head and snap this on. I think that's pretty cool. Once again, that might have been Unparalleled Universe. So again, check that guy out. He's cool people. Alright. So I guess the best way to put this on, I've only put this on maybe like twice. I like to put the sheet all the way up. Make sure I got the front of the head this time. You can see in there, it unveils the neck peg. Yeah, you see the neck peg. You see this like piece of plastic that's glued to the sheet. Yeah, it's interesting. The best way to put this on is kind of make sure you have all the sheet away from the plastic. And then make sure you got the figure. Again, make sure you have the front of the head and not the back, because I've done that before. You can kind of just squeeze it on. As you can hear the tension in my voice just now. So yeah. That is pretty much the idea. It could have been executed a little bit better. But for the most part, I mean, mine's kind of wrinkled for being shoved into the Ziploc too, but that's the whole premise. And then he killed the girl, and like I said, he put this behind her while she's dead in the bed, and that was pretty sick. For practical effects for the 70s, really well done. So shout out to John Carpenter. Go watch his movies. Yeah. So that's the figure wearing the sheet. And wow, I totally forgot about an accessory. Or maybe I decided to make you guys wait a little bit to show you something interesting. So the way the movie begins, it's just the creepy theme song and a flickering jack-o'-lantern getting zoomed in, right? So this would be the days that I cut my nails. Yeah, so basically, here's the jack-o'-lantern. Take the top off, because, you know, it's a jack-o'-lantern. Mezco provides you with batteries. Basically, you flip this on. You put the piece back on. And let me shut out a light and show you guys. So yeah, that's the jack-o'-lantern. And I think that looks really cool. What about you guys? You can see it flickering. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Alright, basically, they're the small little watch batteries. So they're replaceable. Just, you know, be sure to remember what your number is when you go by. So yeah, that's a pretty cool accessory. I'm not going to keep this on all the time because I don't want to drain my batteries. But it's cool that they give you replaceable batteries. Basically, it's a small little Phillips head screw. You pop out, plug your batteries in, put the piece on, and, you know, 1, 2, 3. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me put my light back on for final thought. So yeah, it's funny because he kind of blends into my backdrop. So let me, yeah, that's really funny. Alright, so yeah, like I said, let me check out, let me show you my final thoughts. So some final thoughts on this figure. Again, I'm cool with the non-double jointed elbows. Like, single elbows are fine for somebody like this. I think it was executed really well. Only gripe is the bed sheet with the fraying. That is one issue that I wish, you know, they could have executed a little bit better. I mean, maybe the plastic inside there too. I wish it could have been a full-on head rather than that that piece inside. But you know, it is what it is. Everything else about it, I mean, the jumpsuit being, you know, not being open from put the knife by his chest, that's fine because I could fit it in the pocket, and I'm cool with that too. All in all, he's a great piece. So if you're a big fan of horror, I would say pick this up. I don't know if you're a big fan of, you know, the Halloween franchise, but I mean, he's worth it, guys. He's totally worth it. So yeah, I'm going to try to pump out as many videos from the convention this week as possible. I am going all 4 days. I'm going to bring my camera because the last time, all the times I've been pumping out videos for you guys, it's been through my phone. But now that I actually have a legit camera, videos will be a little bit different, you know, a little clearer, I guess. Well, that's pretty much it for this video. Guys, if you're a fan of Mezco, if you're a fan of Halloween, I say grab it. He's such a great figure. Right? He's really such a great figure. He's totally worth it. I paid about 90 bucks for it, which is standard Mezco pricing. Probably one of the best figures they've had so far this year, in my opinion. So definitely go pick it up. You could find me on the social media stuffs. Follow the channel, Yay Toys Plus on Instagram. If you guys want to like the Facebook page, Yay Toys Plus on there as well. The Inner City Geeks podcast is back. So if you guys want to check us out on Google Play and Stitcher, SoundCloud, or you can just click the link on the website itself, so innercitygeeks.com, where we post when we can. Best way to say it. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. So again, big shout out. Hit the like button if you like the video. Please share with your friends. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. My cat wants to get on the table where I record so bad that she's been climbing on me. So that's probably why I'm flubbing words. Anyway, guys, I love you guys. You guys rock. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.